snowing. Still haven't had chance for a gaming session. Oh, cozy winter clothes. Oh, aren't you cold? Wow, looks like someone's got out of the wrong side of bed this morning. What happened? Didn't you enjoy the hibernation festival? Things aren't so great right now, Alfio. Can I help you? No. Bike's still there. I'll walk today. Let's take the high road. Wow. I don't want to talk to you today, Nino. Not today. You look so tired but also so depressed because of Mr. Kilmer. I sense a dark cloud over you, young one. You had a death on your ward, right? It's never pretty, that's for sure, but the river of life flows on regardless. Let it carry you. We'll all get swept up into the great sea of eternity one day. That's one way to put it. Morning. Have a nice weekend. Why the gloomy face? Morning, Ingrid. I'm not in a great mood. Is it because of Mr. Kilmer? I'm sorry, kid, really. I liked the old lady too. I was hoping I'd feel better after the weekend. Well, I guess you're just one of those people who feel a lot for others. Just make sure it doesn't become a problem for you. That's a part of the profession, kid. Try to focus. There's enough living people around here who need your help. I get it though. They always say the first death really sticks with you. Yeah, maybe you're right. I'll focus and try my best. That's the spirit. I mean, he's only been here for a short while, so definitely the first death he's experienced, especially under his watch. Finley, I heard the news this morning. Do you want to talk? Maybe grab a coffee or something? No. I want to get my work done first. Okay. If you want to talk later, just come and find me, okay? Will do. Me is a good friend. Good morning, Finley. How are you? Alright, I think. A patient died yesterday. Your patient. I imagine Irma's death is still on your mind. Nevertheless, I would ask that you don't let your performance levels drop. We can't let these things affect our work. Got it. You can rely on me. We'll talk again once you've finished treating our patients. Try to make this a good day, Finley, in spite of everything. Good luck. Oh, and one more thing. Irma died of complications from pneumonia. She was old, her immune system just couldn't hold everything off. She remained stable for a while, however her condition worsened during her stay here. These things happen sometimes. The incident with the water damage in her room probably didn't help either. What I'm trying to say is, you did nothing wrong. I've even made a note to that effect in my report. I assigned you to treat Irma, and that was the right decision. I'm sure of it. Finley, I heard about Irma. I'm so sorry. I hope you're okay. I'll be making her memorial figurine today. Gonna make sure it's a good one. Come by anytime if you need to talk, okay? No, 301. Oh, cute little owl. You're Emma, right? Okay. Miss Emma, strawberry yogurt, right? No. I'm Emma Smith. Oh, right. That's what it says here. I must have read it wrong. How are you feeling, Emma Smith? I miss my home. And I've got a tummy ache too. You did get some pills, didn't you? But it's still not better yet. No. Alright, let's take a closer look on what's up with your tummy then. Alright. Okay, hand is right. 2 others. Okay. So maybe the brain and the water drop. The water drop here? And maybe... not a foot. The stomach. There we go. Hey! I think your pain is because of a food allergy. I read that you're not allowed to eat certain things. Is that right? Yes. So are you watching what you eat then? Yeah, but... What is it, Emma? Well, Gerda said that after the hibernation festival you can eat as many nuts as you want. Is Gerda your mum? No, my mum's name is Mum. And she's away. So who's Gerda then? Gerda Niesdork. I always visit her when I'm homesick. She's a doctor like you. Wait a minute. Do you mean Dr. Gniesdorf? Yeah. Can you do me a favor, Emma? Okay. Please don't eat any more nuts. I'm sorry, but your tummy doesn't like nuts. Not even after the hibernation festival. Oh. It's mean, I know, but your tummy aches are mean too, aren't they? Yes. So you keep off the nuts and we'll think of some nice things for you and your tummy to eat, okay? Yeah, okay. Adorable. They're so cute. Okay, we kind of have that in common. I don't get a tummy ache though, I get a headache. Oh, 31. Good morning, Miss Van Galen. Is it that time already? Your colleague said you'd be checking up on me again today. Well, looks like she was right. Shall we get straight to it? I'm sure you want to get back home too. Medication. Alright, we need less blue. No, the same amount of blue. More pink and more orange. Less. Okay, and then it's just the orange. Perfect. Perfect. Hey. Yep. I'm seeing a significant improvement. You know what? I'm actually feeling a lot better today. Better than I have in years. I feel like I'm really aware of my surroundings again. Sounds like the medication's doing its job. Yes. But I think there's more to it than that. I managed to talk to Dr. Gatera again, and it was like he tore down a wall inside of me. Suddenly I saw everything I used to think was important in a different light. I've decided to change my life around completely. I don't want to end up here again. I want to be able to focus on other things, instead of just living for my job. I called my boss this morning and requested 4 weeks off. That's great. That's not what she thought. She threatened to fire me on the spot. Oh, I'm sorry. Don't be. I am the island. I am the sea. And maybe unemployed. But I don't care at all. And that's great. I'll do my exercises and follow my heart more. Thank you for helping me. I'll make sure to thank Dr. Katera again before I leave too. Have a great day. And look after yourself. Interesting. Following your heart and your dreams is good. You also gotta pay your bills. It is also adulting though, unfortunately. Alright, time for Mr. Grouchy Pants. Mrs. Grouchy Pants. Now, my dear colleague, what's your assessment of your health status? My withdrawal symptoms are diminishing, and so's the pain. Good. Do you mind if I examine you? That's what I'm here for. That is tricky. We're going to keep increasing your vitamin B1 and energy intake. Your liver's on the mend. Are you sure? Nonsense, my liver's had it. The readings are clear. Really? You came to us just in time. Feel free to take a look at yourself. We'll have to keep you here for a few more days for observation. If you want to keep on living, you need to keep off the alcohol. Forever. Clear, honest words. I like it. Maybe something will come of you after all. In the distant, far-off future. Wow, rude. I mean, that's like a very backhanded compliment. You did good. Maybe you'll do great. One day. You need a lot more training. Hey, I've been here a month, man. Come on. Give me a break. But what I do or don't do is none of your business. Understand? I've given you my medical opinion. What you do with it is entirely up to you. True. Alright, staff room. Nope. It's staff room, not cafeteria. Oh. Morning, Finley. Emma's bed was empty this morning. I figured she didn't make it. Sorry to ask, but that must have been your first death, right? Oh man. Try to get over it. The sooner you get used to it, the better. Unfortunate. All done? Yep. It took you longer than usual today, but given the circumstances, I'm willing to turn a blind eye to that. Let's see. S tier. I made it, boys. We made it. What have you got for me today? I don't have anything for you. Dr. Theobald was asking after you. Oh really? Why? Couldn't say. However, he did ask if I could give you the rest of the day off. I'm not happy about it, but I said yes. I guess it must be something important then. Do you think I should go to his office? You can if you like, but you won't find me there. How do you know? You won't find him there. Because he's just made himself comfortable in the break room. Oh, strange. That's the way he is. I guess I'll pop in to see him then. As you wish. Hello? Finley, there you are. Thank you for coming. Sure, Dr. Theobald. What can I do for you? Nothing, but I wanted to talk to you. First of all, I would like to thank you. You've done an excellent job these past few days. Thanks. Is that all you wanted? No, not at all. I heard about Irma de Kilmer's passing, of course. A tragedy, truly. Like so many others here in Porcupine, I knew Irma well and liked her a lot. I miss her very much. The whole town will. But you were the one who looked after her and were there for her final days. Is Irma the first patient who's died under your care? Yeah. I'm sorry to hear that. It's not uncommon to struggle to get them off your mind the first time. I still remember my first too. I think I know what you mean. I still think about Mrs. de Kilmer a lot. Just try not to let those thoughts affect you too much. After all, there are still plenty of other people depending on your help. Don't get distracted from looking out for them. It's Irma's funeral service this afternoon. It will be held at Gilbert's. Giuliano hosts most of the funerals in this town. I'm sure this one will be especially hard for him. You should be there. You'll feel better afterwards, I believe. You mean I can go to the service? You're excused for the rest of the day, and I'm sure Mrs. de Kilmer would have invited you anyway. Okay then, I'll be there. Thank you, Dr. Theobald. No need to thank me, Finley. Say goodbye to the old lady for me. See you again tomorrow. Give my regards to old Irma, alright? And please, give my condolences to Giuliano as well. Is it darker down here than usual? Take care, kiddo. And don't slip on the snow. I already pulled something in my back this morning. Ouch. Dang, we look so much happier than we did when we came in. I guess because everybody's sympathy and everybody's there to support us because they kind of know what it's like to lose your first patient, which is really nice. Everybody cares. A coffee guy. Can I interest you in a hot cup of coffee? Perhaps a tea or a saffron roll? No thanks. Sorry, I've gotta be somewhere. Sure thing. Sir? You don't seem to like the weather much either, do you? It smells a bit stale. Is there a queue to get in? So, you're here too, young one. It's good to see you. The roller coaster of life never stops, does it? A few days ago we'd gathered to celebrate. Today, we've gathered to weep. Finley. Hey, Giuliano. I am so sorry. I wish I'd had more... Finley. It's okay. Thank you for coming. I know we haven't known each other long, but it means a lot to me. Please, make yourself at home. There's food and drink. Go ahead and take a seat. Just make yourself at home. Is there really nothing I can do for you? Come to think of it, there is one thing actually. Anything you want. What is it? I think there's a colleague of yours here too. He didn't hang around long. He just stood in the corner and didn't talk to anyone. Then I think he went out the back door. I haven't seen him since. Could you go see if he's still here? I'd check myself, but I've got my hands full. Sorry, here I am asking you for your help again. It's no problem, Giuliano. I'd be happy to do that for you. Thank you. At the back? I'm sure Pina made the figurine. It's such a nice tradition. I'm proud of you, Pina. Pa! Okay. Did you know Irma? Of course. I love stopping to chat to her during my rounds. She was always sitting at her window with a plate of cookies next to her. She always made me coffee on cold days. Aw. I'd love one of her coffees right now. Irma. I can't believe she just died like that. It's so unfair. Wow, you're here. Sorry, Finley. I know how much you liked Irma. How are you feeling? Are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. Wait, my hat glitched behind my head. Just happy I could be here today. Me too, even if it has been a bit stressful for me. But I'd do anything for Irma. If there's anything I can do for you, just say, okay? Hey Finley. Ted, you're here too? Of course, I've really fallen in love with this little bar. I didn't know there was a funeral today, and I didn't know the deceased at all. But I'd still like to be here for her wake. I'm sure Giuliano will be glad to see you. I hope so. Anything up here? Giuliano really does have a lot of old books. A few of them are Irma's too. A very short story in which precious little happens. Oh, I love that book. 100 Creative Ways to Find Housing. I wonder if any of these still work today. And look at this. The Chero Plane Murders. I read that book in secret when I was a kid. Big mistake. Irma had really eclectic taste. What are you staring at? I've been standing here for 10 minutes. 1 second longer and I'll pee my pants. Yikes. And I need to blow my nose too. Okay, bro. Alright. Huh. Storage room. Alright, let's go check outside. Giraffe! There's a giraffe painting. Hello. Gregor, you're here too? Get lost, kid. You don't want to come inside? The service is about to start. No. There's food and drink too. Lots of people are here. Leave me alone. Ooh, grumpy. Okay. Why are you so grumpy? It's all my fault. What? What do you mean? I'm doing the best I can. I know the hospital relies on me. Oh, because of the flood? Or like the water? It's not your fault. I'm the one who's supposed to look after it all. If the old lady hadn't got sicker, that water damage hadn't happened. Not your fault, dude. If I had just taken better care of the hospital, then maybe she wouldn't have... Man. This is my burden to bear. I'll never forgive myself. All those people in there, I see the way they look at me. They know it's my fault. It's not your fault. I felt the same way. I was the one treating her right up until the end. I still believed she'd get better. I didn't want to face the fact that she was going to die. But in the moment she passed, I knew she was at peace with it. She was old, her body was weak, and she was happy. She didn't want people looking after her all the time. And that's okay. I did my best and you did too, but sometimes things crumble and collapse anyway. Sometimes we have to say goodbye to people, and sometimes we can't help them. I'm going in now. You can come with me if you want. I can't. I'm gonna stay here. Okay. But if you change your mind, just know that you'll be welcome. Sure, whatever. I should go. I don't want to disturb the bereaved. You should do what feels right for you. No one's forcing you to stay. Yeah, you're right. Let's go in. If we go in at the same time, they won't all be staring at me. And I can slip away quickly if I need to. Sounds good. Dang, that's a lot of weight to bear. Hello, what are you doing? Smoking? Outside? That was random. Oh, the candles are all lit now. So, did you find him? Yes. He's the janitor at the hospital, but he doesn't want to come in. I think he needs some more time to himself, but he did come in. I think we all do. I'm glad he's here though. Speaking of which, how are you holding up? I'm coping. But please, let me know if there's anything else I can do. I will, my friend. Please, sit down, it's about to start. Not ready yet. Take your time. Where'd he go? Can't leave. But he left. Alright. Ready. Dear guests, could I have your attention for a moment? Funeral time. Thank you all for coming. I can barely bring myself to speak, but last night, Irma, my dear mother, passed away. She was a real talker, always telling stories. And she was surrounded by people who loved her. That's you guys. Thanks for that, all of you. When I was little, she taught me to play an instrument. She practiced with me. And I hated every second of it. But when I was playing, her eyes would just light up. I wish she could look at me that way again. I want to play a very special song for you. A song Irma requested every time I picked that instrument up. Oh, the dog came inside. The hair flick. I remember one day it was really frosty when I had to deliver my letters. I slipped on a patch of ice. My whole mailbag fell into the river with all the letters still inside it. And I tore my cruciate ligament. Herman not only helped me fish every single letter out of the river, she even dried them, restored them, and delivered them for me. Irma worked with my parents in a restaurant. Things had been going downhill for a while, then Irma came up with a new dish, rainbow beet gratin. It was a hit. Before long, it was the only dish anyone wanted. Irma and I used to play backgammon together every Thursday in the summer. How did you know Irma, Finley? I'll tell you how that squirt knew Irma. He's the one who let her die. It's the truth. Irma was in great shape. Then one day, she just bends over, sprains an ankle, ends up in the hospital. And a few days later, suddenly she's sick. Real sick. And then she just dies. I'm telling you, it's all that guy's fault. Him and all the staff at that awful hospital. I just heard them talking about it right now. They're letting the hospital deteriorate. It's so bad the folks who go there pick up new diseases in the wards. That is none of this is true. We already know you hate the hospital and the staff. And you make stuff up from that bar fight you caused. Bruh. Bruh. Emma didn't even have pneumonia until they took her to that dump. I'm telling you, Irma didn't just die. She was murdered there. If St. Ursula's wasn't so useless, Emma would still be with us today. We'd be celebrating, not mourning. Everyone who works there should stand up and take the blame for this. We'd all be better off if that hospital was torn down and never darkened our skyline again. Ralph, that's a crock of nonsense. Facts. Now, hold on. Maybe he's got a point. Yes, and Ursula's is a danger to all of us. That's right. We need to put it out. Maybe it would be better that way. Look around you. Do you see anyone from the hospital here except for this clown? Exactly. They don't even have the nerve to come to her funeral because they know it's their fault. Plain as the nose on your face. But... Quiet, everyone. Please. This isn't about pointing fingers at anyone. This isn't about St. Ursula's. It's about Irma, my mother, your friend. Finley? Yeah? I'm sorry to have to ask you this, but perhaps it would be best if you leave. But, please, I don't want this argument to ruin Irma's memorial. I'll make it up to you, I promise. Let's talk later. Okay. Damn. What a dickhead. What a duty head. Oh man, that didn't go how I expected. Phone call. Looks like my cell phone had no reception at Gilbert's. Mia and Carl both tried to call me. Call Mia. Hey Finley. Thanks for calling me back. I was worried when I saw you today. Are you okay? I'd be lying if I said I was. Oh. I don't know if it'll help, but I actually have plans for tonight. I think I need to get my mind off things, and I'm guessing you might want to as well. If you come along, we could help each other. Pina will be there too. Sure, why not? Cool. I just got off work. I'm standing in the middle of town square. Perfect, I'm heading your way now. Let's meet at the hospital entrance, okay? Alright, see you soon. Why do I feel like they're gonna like grab a torch and pitchforks, you know? I hope your evening went better than mine. I'm surprised that's not ice yet. Is the funeral over already? Dr. Krakowski told me you were there. Sure was. There was an argument. People said it was my fault Irma died. What? I wanted to explain myself, but I didn't get a chance. That's so mean. It makes me so angry. Yeah. Can we change the subject maybe? Anything special going on in your life? Well, today's my stage debut. What do you mean? I'm rehearsing with the Porcupine Amateur Dramatics group for the first time. Wanna come watch? I want to get used to having an audience. Do I need to do anything? Watch, listen, and nod. And don't be too harsh of a critic. I can do that. Yay, let's go. The rehearsal's taking place on a small stage in the park. That's this way? Right? I like that they added like steam behind me occasionally when I breathe. Think up here? Yeah, there we go. Mia! I'm so glad you came. And you brought Finley with you too? Yeah, I asked if he wanted to come to watch. But just to watch. Watching nonsense! You're just in time. One of our members dropped out today. Caught the flu at the Hibernation Festival or something. Oh no. Can we still rehearse without them? Sure we can. You've brought the perfect replacement. But... Oh yes, Finley, please say you'll join in. I'm sure that's just what I need to feel more comfortable in my first role. Alright. Yay! Woohoo! I was in the theatre group in elementary school, but I might be a little rusty. What's the play? Will it even work with someone new in the role? That's what's so great. We're an improv troupe. We give everyone a role at the start of the show, then just see what happens. And tonight we've got something very special in store. This guy to the right of me looks so unimpressed. Like, so what are you doing here, you suck? A terrible crime that needs solving. I'm scared already. You're telling me. And you, Finley, are going to be our detective, the private eye. The guy who was a little too tough for the police. You're basically the referee. It'll be practice for the rest of the group. Oh, okay, I hope I can pull this off. I know you can. This is gonna be great. Is everyone ready? Yep. I'm already pumped. Let's go. Alright. You've all been given a brief on your roles. Any questions? Good. Folks, we've got 2 new additions today. So to celebrate, I've come up with something special. Listen up, everyone. We open on an old hospital. It's 6 in the morning. There's a storm outside. The rain's coming down in buckets as one by one you enter the building. Shortly after the shift begins, we hear the chief physician's voice break into a horrifying scream. Oh, Come on, you could do better than that. Let me feel your terror. Ah! Much better. A body has been found in the chief physician's office. But it's not just any body. It's the body of the chief physician's personal assistant. You gather into the break room. The fresh coffee is still bubbling in the pot when the door flies open once more. Into the room strides none other than the city's most famous detective. Finley, that's your cue. His face is grave, his steps determined, and so the questioning begins. Finley, you just let me know when you're ready to give your verdict, okay? Okay. Alright, folks. Let the interrogation begin. I don't know how this could have happened. It was the chief physician. I'm sure of it. You've gotta believe me. She would have done anything for him, but she swept that under the table. If he threatened her with it, she wouldn't hesitate to resort to such means. Anything to preserve her career. I did see her leaving the building last night when I was starting my night shift, but that doesn't mean anything at all. Where were you at the alleged time of the murder? Did you notice anything unusual? Do you suspect anyone? I'll come back later. Where were you? Me? I was only here for a cigarette break. I'd just got back from the night shift, and I was going to straight home after that. Wait a second. You said you were going to the night shift. Did you notice anything unusual? Is there anything else that might be relevant besides your theories? Well, I don't know if it's really relevant, but before the PA started here, He worked at another hospital, but he was falsely accused of involuntary manslaughter, so they fired him. Can you imagine that? I told you, the chief physician, of course. Haven't you ever seen a detective drama? No further questions. Alright. Oh man, I need a coffee. It's really terrible what happened. I still can't believe it. I was even here when the crime took place and I still couldn't do anything. Where in the building were you at the time of the crime? I always come in extra early, because I like to work in peace before the hustle and bustle starts. So I sat in my office all morning, going through patient records. I haven't been here long. I was eager for a fresh start after my previous hospital, and I get along very well with everyone here. But I'm still trying to get up to speed. Anything unusual? As you may already know, I'm pretty new here, so I probably wouldn't have noticed if there was something out of the ordinary. But maybe that will help you provide a more objective view than your colleagues. Yes, I suppose so. I don't want to make any false accusations, but there is one thing as it happens. The chief physician came to see me a few days ago. She asked me to keep an eye on the janitor. I think he was seen hanging around my floor a few times, heading into the storeroom. Some people suspect him of stealing medication. And have you noticed anything? No, I have never seen him there. But maybe the murder victim caught him in the act. I wouldn't wish that on anyone, truly. Did you ever speak to the ambulance driver? I've seen him in the corridors a few times, but apart from a friendly nod here and there, we've never really interacted. Yes, I'm happy to help if I can. I'd love to help, but I've been busy all morning. Where were you? Busy, eh? With what? Sometime last night, that damn pipe in the basement burst again. That's the third time this month. Not that anyone cares. And everything's always underwater. So I spent the whole morning on my hands and knees down there tinkering around. And then I thought, what's that strange object in the water? And hey presto, I had the murder weapon in my hand. Not that I knew at the time, obviously. Did you notice anything else? I don't know if this is relevant, but I talked to that guy a lot. Out on the stairs after work. He's the only guy there that smokes apart from me, you see? 2 days ago, he was saying some weird stuff. Thought someone was following him. Stuff like that. I managed to calm him down. Told him he was imagining it. Turns out he wasn't. Alright, thanks for the tip. We used to smoke together. That was pretty nice actually. He's quit now, so we don't see each other that often anymore. But he's also been a little weird recently. Maybe he wants a job or something. But he's been chasing that PA around a lot. Tell me about the new doctor. I think she's avoiding me, but I don't know why. You don't understand how awful it was. If it were just a dead body, I wouldn't have been so shocked. I've seen more than a few of them over the course of my career. But in my office? Before my third cup of coffee? What is the world coming to? How am I doing, Finley? Am I convincing? You're doing great, but you need to stay in character. Oh yeah, oops. Ahem. I'd like to ask you about the incident. Yes, of course. I think we all want to get to the bottom of this. And as soon as possible, too. I'm busy, so keep it short. Very well. I'll be brief. Where were you when the incident happened? I wasn't in the building at the time of the incident. I'd already left early yesterday evening. I always try to get here as early as possible, as a rule. That day I can finish the day's work early too. Only today my car broke down, so I didn't arrive until the same time as the rest of the staff. The breakdown service took forever, but maybe that was lucky for me in the end. Otherwise, it could have been me lying there on the cold floor. Horrible. That does rule me out completely as a suspect, though. I see. Is there anything else you'd like to add? I just can't stop wondering why it had to happen in my office, of all places, and how. The only person with a key besides me was my assistant, and we couldn't stand each other. I don't know what he was doing in my office. As far as I know, he was never in my office unless I was there too. His key was only for emergencies. If you ask me, it was the nurse anyway. My PA made some nursing cuts a few weeks ago, and I've heard nothing but complaints ever since. She also had a precedence for being unprofessionally emotional, if you know what I mean. You told me earlier that you and your PA couldn't stand each other, correct? That's correct. Interesting, especially as I've heard from various sources that the two of you got along very well. That's a wild speculation. And anyway, it should make even less of a suspect if anything. True, I lied, but I only did it for the sake of my image. I don't want to be the kind of boss who's known for playing favorites, so I treat everyone the same. I don't think I've ever talked to him. I don't interact with most of the employees here on a regular basis, if you know what I mean. She hasn't been here long, just a couple of months, but she's proven a good fit. I was a little skeptical at first because I didn't know if she was assertive enough, but it's worked out fine in the end. She's normally very reliable, though I did find a stack of uncompleted files on her desk just today. I'll be honest with you, I've always had the suspicion that he was up to something crooked. He's always creeping around everywhere, cropping up where you least expect him. I think he's been stealing, but I don't have any proof yet. Please, hurry up. Do you know anything about this position? Well, I don't think my boss would kill anyone. She has a lot of money and a nice apartment. Why would she ruin all of that? Nah, I don't see her doing that. Do you know how your chief physician felt about her assistant and where she was today? But she always leaves the building at the same time on Mondays. I think it's because she wants to catch that show about doctors on TV, which is always on at that time. That's what someone told me once at least. I don't know if she's a suspect, but I think she's a smart woman. I don't think she would have killed anyone in her own office, where she'd be one of the most obvious suspects, but that's just my opinion. She was cursing her head off when she arrived this morning too, because her car broke down. I saw them towing it away. You said you got along with all of them. Yet I've heard differently. I've been reliably informed that you didn't have a good relationship with the murder victim. I've never tried to hide it. Maybe not everyone knew, but that suited me just fine. Yeah, me and the PA, we clashed pretty often. He didn't always agree with my methods and opinions, and yeah, sometimes that made me angry. But angry enough to kill him? I'd never do that. No one gets along with every single one of their colleagues, and I'm no exception. That's normal. I mainly stay out of his way since my boss pointed out her suspicions to me. I know she had to keep an eye on him, but it's just always given me the shivers, down to my spine of the idea of having dealings with a criminal. You know, that is suspicious. If she had a pile of stuff on her desk, but she comes in early to get it done, that's interesting. I was told you don't smoke anymore. I'm not a murderer. I would never kill him. No, I don't smoke, but I am allowed to go anywhere in the hospital, wherever I want, especially to my brother's office door. You heard right, he was my brother, and I would never hurt my own family. I'd rather kill myself. He may not have wanted to see me, but I can't help that he died before he could change his mind. I know he would have done if I could have just talked to him again yesterday. He's a nice guy. We used to smoke together a lot because our shifts synced up well. They don't sync up so much anymore, but he's pretty reliable and nicer than most of the others. I think it's the janitor, the nurse. No, I couldn't stand him, but that doesn't make me a murderer. If I went around wanting to murder people, I'd have started actually doing it a long time ago. Not that I'm saying I did. Fact is, he just wanted a nice guy. Ask the new doctor, she'll tell you. He really had it in for her. That's more of a motivation to kill than I've ever had. Besides, I was on duty in another ward all night, so I couldn't have killed him anyway. Like I said, I was on duty. I don't know exactly when he was killed, but you're welcome to talk to all the patients on the ward. I spend a lot of time there in that morning. Having a very long conversation with the woman in room 7. She didn't feel well, and she really wanted to talk to someone about it. Not to mention giving them her whole life story. I remember wondering about the light that was on in the chief physician's office, though that was sometime in the early morning. No, I didn't see anyone. Oh wait. I saw the janitor on that floor. He said he was looking for a ladder for some repair work. Unfortunately, I couldn't help him. I had my hands full myself that morning. What do you think? Can you reconstruct the course of events? Sure. So who did it? The case is absolutely clear. There is only one person who could have committed this heinous act. Even though every single one of you had a motive, the solution is crystal clear. It's either the new doctor or the janitor. Only one of you didn't have an alibi at the time of the crime. The chief physician wasn't at the hospital at all because her car had broken down. Her only lie was that she did actually like her PA. The car was towed into the parking lot and seen by plenty of witnesses. That leaves 4 other suspects. The nurse's alibi is airtight. She was on duty the entire night as attested to by several witnesses, including the janitor. And besides, she isn't temporal at all. In reality, she's covering for someone else on her team. Unlike the janitor, who also has an alibi. Only his alibi is a lie. Yes, he lied, but not because he committed the murder. In fact, he snuck into the nurse's ward to steal medication, which is also illegal, but not the crime we're looking for. That leaves us with 2 more suspects. The new doctor and the ambulance driver. The ambulance driver had clear motive. After all, the murder victim was his brother. A brother he didn't love and who didn't want anything to do with him. However, at the time of the murder, he was sitting outside his brother's office, waiting for him as witnessed by the janitor. Now, all this may seem like a stab in the dark, pardon the pun, but there's only one person who lied about their alibi, and that person is the new doctor. She claimed she was in her office all morning correcting files. A rookie mistake. The nurse saw her carrying boxes around the hospital all morning. So why would she lie? The answer is obvious. Because she was the one who committed the murder. Why, you ask? The answer is quite simple. She and the PA had bad history. And not just any history. She was involved in the incident that lost the PA his previous job, and followed him to this hospital, driven by bitterness and revenge. But I still have one question, good doctor. That you committed the crime is clear for all to see, but why did the PA have to die? I don't know what you're talking about. These are all baseless lies. I left my office to move some files. It just slipped my mind in all excitement. So, if we were to look through these files, would we find them completed? You did spend the whole morning on them, after all. I admit, I had trouble concentrating that morning. So much trouble, in fact, that you haven't even started on a single one of those files you claim to have completed. The chief physician noticed this herself. Perhaps you should have come with a better alibi. I can't believe you think I'm so stupid. The sheer audacity. My last murder was so challenging. She admitted it. That not even the police could solve it. And what should have been my masterpiece was instead attributed to an idiot. And you have the nerve to call me stupid. The last murder? Aha! And so, we are presented with the solution to our riddle. The PA was fired from the hospital where he worked because he was suspected of involuntary manslaughter. But nothing could ever be proven against him because he didn't do it. Ironic, then, that this false accusation has now led to his own demise. You committed the perfect murder, and instead of getting away with it, you followed him all the way here just to get revenge? You wouldn't understand how an artist's mind works. He stole my work, and then I saw him snooping around the chief physician's office. It became clear he was nothing but a phony. He'd only have done the same thing again, rested on other people's laurels. Well, you'll certainly have plenty of time to rest on your laurels. In prison. Bow, bow, bow. Bravo, bravo. Good job. That was great, Finley. Whew, that was exciting. My knees are still knocking. The way you served the murder? Awesome. I'm gonna get going now. What about you guys? I'll stay here for fresh air for a little longer. Finley, do you have a moment? Alright, get home safe then. Night. Night night, crime busters. I didn't know it was about murder. Sorry, I hope that wasn't too much for you. I really enjoyed it though. Without you, I probably wouldn't have come. Thanks for getting my mind off things. Finley, I don't know how you're feeling right now. I don't know what it's like when somebody dies on you for the first time. But I have to assume that it'll happen to me sometime too. And I'm pretty scared of it. Terrified, actually. But it's also part of the job. And a good doctor needs to be able to handle it. Hey, it might never happen to you. You're a great doctor. I think that's unrealistic. But when it happens, I want to be ready. What are you thinking right now? Not much. All I want to do right now is sleep. And thank you for joining in. I wouldn't have had the nerves for it without you. Maybe you'll want to do it again in the future. But next time, I want to be the detective. I'd be honored to have you solve my murder. Hopefully not a real murder. After the beginning of this game. I want to keep going. Keep going? Maybe that's what it's all about in the end. Moving on. I want to keep going too. With life here in Porcupine, I mean. I think I like it here. The people, the little streets, the hibernation festival was great. I think I could feel at home here. Especially with a partner in crime like you. Let's make sure that as few people die here as possible. That's the deal. Deal? Deal. Yes. Deal. Oh, happy eyes. Home again, home again. I can't wait to get a good night's sleep.